Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have been having a good week. I know we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde, so maybe you've been experiencing, see, I can't even speak. Thank you, retrograde. Communication issues, tech issues, anything like that. It's normal. If you're feeling a little brain foggy, again, normal. It's going to pass. It'll be over in a few weeks. But in the meantime, let's talk about business foundations, and particularly for those of you. There we go. I'm having tech issues over here too. But for those of you in the group who are earning less than $5,000 in your business consistently month after month, I mean, this is for you right now. This is why I wanted to come live and talk to you specifically, because really, that's going to be the reality for at least 60% of you. That's just the statistics in business. And I know that can be a really frustrating place to be. It took me a really long time to get my business up and creating really consistent revenue, and also building up to the point where it was making 5,000 plus and then 10,000 plus and all the things. So it's a space where it's possible. You've seen it's possible. You see other people doing it. You might be really frustrated that, damn it, you're not there yet. But the first thing I want to say is, trust and believe you'll get there. It's a process. There's a lot to learn. And I know all the marketing people want to tell you, it's like, oh, you're just missing this super secret little thing. It's bullshit. They're trying to sell you whatever it is they're trying to sell you, right? Like, they're trying to make it seem like it's this easy, quick fix and that you're missing out on something. That's what they want you to think, because they want your money. What I want to tell you instead, the truth, is that it just takes time. When you're building your business, it's like trying to put together a 1,000-piece puzzle. There's a lot to learn, right? Like, you need to have the right mindset. You need to understand business logistics. You need to get your bookkeeping order. You need to know how to market, how to create content, how to define your niche, how to speak to those people, how to also repel the wrong clients at the same time. You need to feel confident in your pricing strategies. You need to know how to have a sales conversation. You need to be able to receive money somehow. Like, there's so many pieces to this. And then we're beating ourselves up like we should just know this already. And nobody teaches us this. Like, this is not taught in school. And even if you go for a business degree, they don't cover a lot of the stuff that you just learn hands-on. So I just want you to know that if you're in a space where you're like, oh my God, I just feel like everybody knows everything but me, it's not true. It just looks like that. Like, no matter who we are, when we get into the online space, the truth of the matter is everybody looks like they're doing well, right? Like, everybody. In fact, there's people who are looking at your profile, at what you're doing, and they're like, oh my God. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. This retrograde is playing havoc, but it doesn't help that I live in the country and just the signal is not always good anyways. But fingers crossed, being outside will have a better connection. So, getting back into what we were saying, the reality is, people are looking at everybody going, oh, they're doing better than me. They're doing better than me. They're doing better than me. The truth of the matter is, we all go through our own struggles with stuff. We all are trying to figure out our own shit, and we all feel like we're falling behind compared to everybody else. So that's just the reality of it. But coming back to this idea of, okay, well, you want to have that consistent baseline in your business. You don't want to feel like it's feast or famine all the time. And a lot of the times I'll see it where somebody finally kind of feels like they figured it out and they have that first $5,000 or $10,000 month, but then the next month they're back down to zero. And it's just like, oh my God, the stress. And then they're like, was it a fluke? Can I do it again? All of the things. And so we don't only want to create, big revenue months. We want to be able to have it where it's consistent so that we have a sense of safety and security in our revenue, that we know that we can, invest in certain things, hire staff, whatever it is that you want to do. Or maybe you're more of an automation person and you're going to invest in the systems, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to know that you've got the baseline to do it. You also want to know that you have the money coming in for taxes and all the kind of stuff, that you're setting that aside. There's so much to this, right? And so I think the biggest thing that I want you to know is it's okay that it takes time. Be patient with it, but that it also doesn't have to take a lifetime. I know my journey took way longer than it needed to. My first year I made $600. My second year, I think it was $2,500-ish. I don't even know if it was that much. It was really slow. I was very slow learning, but I was very resistant to investing because we didn't have a lot of money. So I was very oh, I don't know if I can. And I didn't really realize that even though I was studying systems in sales and marketing, which are very important, you do need to know them, I was really resistant to getting deeper into the mindset stuff. And that was really the biggest change that I saw, is when I started doing that, things picked up really quickly. So we really need to have a holistic approach to business in order to create a lot of money. We also need to know, okay, well, what are the different ways that people can buy from me? Am I only creating money through working income offers where I have to exchange time for money? Or do I have passive systems in place, or at least recurring revenue systems in place, so that I can create something and it can just like on autopilot bring in more money so that I have time freedom too? So these are things we have to consider and that we don't always do. Like, let's face it, when we start a business, it's like, I need money now. Like, that's just usually the way it is. Unless you happen to have like a, wealthy spouse, or at least you've got a lot of savings or something, which is not the case for most people, right? Like, it's like there's kind of an immediate financial need. So we need to figure out, while we're like, okay, I need that cash influx now. So what's going to create immediate money, but we still need to think long term, and what's this business model going to look like? So it's going to be able to generate that money for us. And that's going to look different for everybody here. Like, the truth is, you might be somebody who has a products-based business and you're looking for low-priced items and high volume. Or maybe you're a high-ticket service provider and you're looking for fewer clientele, but you are going to have that price tag to match the value. And there's all of these things to go with it. You can see that already, right? Like, there's so much to consider and think about. And it's not that there's a right or a wrong. In fact, many of you are going to create multiple ways that people can pay you in different price points. And that can actually be a really great, solid business model, because you can constantly bring in new people at the lower price point. And then as they get to see like, oh, this is super valuable, this is like, holy shit, like I want more, they're willing to invest more and willing to invest more because they had a safe way to say yes the first time. So these are things that we have to think about when we're building up that revenue. What I would like you to think about is, take a look at what it is that you're selling now, what you have available. Like, do you only have one offer? Do you have 10 offers? Do you maybe have 100 offers and maybe you need to shrink it back? Like, depends on who you are. Like, I'm not saying 100 offers is wrong either. I actually have close to 100 now, but I didn't start there, right? So I think it's something where we have to go, okay, how does this work for me? How am I getting the word out about these? How are people finding them? In fact, what's the most popular? Maybe you're multi-passionate like I am, and you find that, oh, okay, most people are coming at like to buy this from me, or actually people do buy multiple things from me. They do see me as an expert in multiple fields. Like, there isn't one right answer. I want you to know that there's no cookie cutter, one size fits all fucking business plan. I hate it when people try and sell that shit because it's crap. You can run your business your way. I know people who are extremely successful and rich who have like one signature offer. It's the only thing they sell. They do it well. I also know people like myself who have like all of the offers in all of the directions at all of the price points, and we do extremely well. So there's not one way to do this. You can go in a whole bunch of different directions. So I want you to know, it's about finding your groove. It's about finding what's going to feel good for you in your business. So once you have that in mind, you have to think about the plan of, okay, well, I need to cultivate leads. I need people who are interested in this, and they have to be the right fit. Then I have to have a way of onboarding those people. What is my sales process to actually get them in? And maybe that's not selling something up front. Like, maybe that's getting them to opt into something, and then they get on an email list, and then your funnel sells them in. Or maybe you get them onto a sales call. There's no right answer here, but you do have to have a system. So we want to start thinking in terms of that. And then we have to start thinking, well, do we actually have issues receiving money, right? Like, are we, when somebody's like, yeah, I really want to buy from you, are we like, oh my God, are you like, are you really sure? Like, that energy is really shitty in a sales conversation, right? Because they're like, well, I was sure, but now you're not sure. Now I'm not sure. Like, it's a cascade effect, right? So we have to be really comfortable that what we're selling has extreme value, that we know it's going to have a transformational impact on their life, and that we're comfortable receiving the money. So that's part of this process, is we have to go through the mindset work. We have to feel comfortable in the sales conversation. And a lot of that comes through do the mindset work, but then you have to actually show up and like try the sales conversations. And I remember, like, I originally started doing courses before I did one-on-one coaching. And I did that for quite a while. So when I transitioned to one-on-one coaching, I was like, well, I have to have sales calls first. Like, I'm not going to sign somebody up that I've never spoken to, that I'm going to have to work with for like 3 or 6 months. That sounds terrible, because what if I hate them? What if they hate me? Like, there wasn't an option for me. But at the same point, I was like so nervous on those sales calls. So the first few calls, guess what? They sucked. They were awful. They were completely unaligned people. But I got better. And then I got more comfortable with them. And then it was like, okay, now I'm just sifting through and going, do I like you? Do I want to work with you? Do you want to work with me? Can I help you? Like asking the right questions in my head, but also to them, like, what problems do you have? Like getting all of that information and coming from that place of service, right? So it's okay that you're going to fumble. It's okay that it's going to suck at first, because it is going to suck at first. Like, I think you just have to know that it's going to suck. Umar, thank you so much. It's just a process of doing, trying, learning as you go. Like, fail forward. Keep failing forward. That's the way you do it. The faster you fail, the faster you grow, the more success you have. Like, that's really what it boils down to. It's getting comfortable with the failing. So this is what you need to know in moving forward with your business. Like, patience. It's holistic. You need the mindset, you need the strategy, you need all of the things. So we want to make sure that we're approaching it from that point of view. And then we can start to build the revenue. Then we can start to have more systemization, more of the building blocks that are going to allow you to scale your business to the next level. And that's where you're going to have repeat clients. That's where you're going to have easier growth, because you're going to have raving fans who are like, oh my God, I love everything you do. And they buy everything you do. They give you great testimonials. They recommend their friends. Like, everything happens then. So this is really what it's going to take for you to go from those lower income months to having steady $5,000 plus months in your business. And it's just going to keep growing from there. But you have to have this solid foundation that you're building from. So I know a lot of you have seen, I'm working with Sophie B. She is such a kick-ass person. She's also here in Canada, which is super cool. So we are running something that's pretty unheard of in the coaching industry, because we kind of got pissed off a little bit at the inaccessibility that's been happening. It's becoming very elitist in the coaching industry. And we're kind of like, you know what, that's rubbing us the wrong way. Because we deeply believe that coaching should be available to anybody who is like, I want to do the work. Sorry, some mosquitoes. Get out of my face. Anybody who really wants to do the work, who's like, I need the mentorship. Like, I just need that next step. I'm tired of fumbling in the dark trying to figure it out myself. And we really wanted to make that accessible. So even though we are very high ticket coaches at this point, like if you want to work with me for 3 months, it's $44,000. Like, that is what it costs now. What we did is we came together and we created a 3-month group coaching program, probably seen as called Consistent Cash and Clients. And this is for those of you who are earning less than the regular recurring $5,000 a month or more. And we're going to help you get there. We're going to help you lay these foundations so that you have a solid business, so that you're bringing in those clients, so that you understand the onboarding, so that the mosquito can eat my head. Sorry. And that is just really, for us, it's a bit of a give back. This is the thing that we both wish we had access to when we got started, because it's tough getting started. It is. And I know I didn't have the money to invest in a big coach back then. There was absolutely no way it was going to happen. So this is your opportunity. We're going to be starting on September 18th. So less than 3 weeks away, which is super exciting. And so far we have 125 people who have registered. For the people who are registering between the 101st person to the 200th person, you're actually going to get a bonus coaching session with us, where you're going to come in with a small group and we're going to work with you to get more specific on your business, because we really believe in that individuality. Like, we're not going to teach anything that's cookie cutter bullshit, because it doesn't help anybody. This is really about laying the foundations that really apply, and then going from there, we can grow it and we can customize it to you. Because you're a unique person, your business is unique. We're not going to try and pretend it's otherwise like a lot of these people try and do. So we want to help you where you're at, to grow, to have that business that you love, and that's also making you money and helping people, right? Like, that's why we do this in the first place. So we're really excited for that. So it's a 3-month, $30,000 value coaching experience for a one-time payment of $75. I know it's insane. People keep asking us, like, is it real? It's real. This is not a joke. This is not a hoax. This is not some weird publicity stunt. And we will not be upselling at the end. Like, this is a legitimate way for us to help you, for us to give back, for us to give you immense value in a container that's usually only accessible to people, basically, again, in the elite, right? So we're like, fuck that shit. Now it's time to help everybody else. So we hope to see you there. I'm going to be dropping the link. If you guys have questions, reach out. We want to make sure that this is the right fit for you. I'll certainly go over everything that's included. Like, we've got weekly lessons, we've got weekly calls. We're going to have access to us in between. Monday to Friday, we're going to be in the group answering questions. Like, we got you. We got you is what it comes down to. We want you to have the best possible experience you ever had in a coaching program. Like, that is our goal at the end of the day. So I will leave you for now because the mosquitoes have decided that I am a really tasty meal and I'm just kind of tired of eating. So I love you guys. Have an amazing Friday. I will get the link to you as soon as I get back inside and out of mosquito territory. And again, my inbox is open. You got questions, I got answers. Mwah. Have an amazing day. Bye.